Hi everyone, today I'm going to be doing a review on Richard Adams' Watership Down. And so this is a book, my brother got it for me, and the funny thing was when he got it for me, he texted me and said, "I got you a book," and he put little emojis of animals, and I was like, "What book?" And he's like, "I'm not going to tell you," and I'm like, "Charlotte's Web, Watership Down," and he's like, "How could you know it was Watership Down?" But I remember it because we had seen the movie as a kids, and it traumatized me. and But I know this is a book that people read in school, so I was like, I want to read it. So he gave me the book, and I finished it, and it was actually really good. The feel I got was like it was Lord of the Rings, but for animals. There is like adventure after adventure after adventure. These rabbits, these animals, they go on quests and missions and stuff like that. So this is a story of the main two rabbits, bunnies, is Fiver and Hazel. And they are in their own little clan, little group of rabbits, and one day Fiver's like, "We need to go. Something bad is going to happen. We need to leave." And Hazel was very supportive, was like, "Okay, I believe you. Let's go." So they were able to drum up a couple of their rabbit friends, and they start going to find a new place to live. And that's the first chunk of the book, them trying to find a place to live. And they have to contend with weather, they have to contend with other animals, and they have to contend with man and man's machines and roads and things like that. So the first part was pretty adventurous. But the second part, that's the part that got really, really adventurous. Because their fight now wasn't with these things, with like whether an animal, like other small animals or roads or man, but their main antagonist in the second part of the book was other rabbits themselves. And they try to, they find their own little home, and then they're like, "Wait a minute. There's only very few of us. We need more rabbits. We need female rabbits so we can put down roots here, so we can live here." So they start trying to find other clans, and they're like, "Hey, come join us." But they find this one really bad clan, and this clan of rabbits are just so bad and evil, and they try to kill them, and then they try to follow them and all that. So it was pretty adventurous. I don't remember, before I read it, I don't remember much from the movie when we watched it, but there was just some scenes, because there's a lot of fighting scenes where the rabbits fight and just are very vicious, and there are dead rabbits in some scenes, and I can see why it was very traumatizing as a child. Books that, I don't know if, I forget if I'm pronouncing this word correctly, anthropomorphize animals are very interesting. Anthropomorphize means giving human characteristics and human qualities to an animal so that they behave like humans. So you'll kind of see books like this, kind of like with Peter Rabbit, where Peter Rabbit's wearing the clothes and they talk and they act like humans. Or some of the animals, like in the Narnia books, where you have, Mr. and Mrs. Beaver. So books like this always are very interesting, because how they do it and how each of the animals have personalities. And Richard Adams does such a good job at doing different personalities that you can kind of see actual rabbits having. Like, he'll describe them sniffing each other, or he'll describe them digging, and you're like, yeah, that's exactly how you see them do it. So that was kind of interesting too. So it was very adventurous. I definitely give it a 4 or 5 stars out of 5. So if you haven't read it in school, I think you should. The cover is very pretty. Like the little bunny. One last interesting tidbit was that Richard Adams wrote this story, or started telling the story to his kids, his daughters, on vacation trips, because they would be driving, and he would tell them stories to pass the time. And that kind of also brought childhood memories of me and my brothers listening to my dad's stories or my mom's stories. And I still remember some, like, of just these very adventurous stories of Mr. Ugly that my dad used to say. And so once he's told his daughters a story, they kept telling him, you need to write it down, you need to write it down. So he did, and it became this book. So I thought that was a very interesting little thing about the book. So I definitely liked it. If you've read the story, let me know what you think of it, because it was a good one. Anyway, hope you like this review. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.